real quick and bring you back, okay?
Okay.
Hey everybody. Okay, it says that I'm live. So I guess I'm live. Hey everybody, it's your girl Kat. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening for this pop in. Look, we are celebrating tonight on Chat with Kat and Friends. I'm celebrating with my girlfriend, Terri Johnson, authoress Terri Johnson. She is celebrating Body Safety Zones. It's 2 years old. Her book is 2 years old. Right now on today, I believe, or it may have been yesterday, but look, we're celebrating on today. She's going to fill us in on all of those final details. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, it has been a hectic, very hectic week for me. So I thank you so much for sharing, for stopping in. Hey, if you going through your channels and you might see, okay, Kat is on, come on, sit in, come on in with us. Enjoy a quick pop in. We're not even going to be with you too long on tonight. Just want to shout her out on this evening and thank God for what he's doing with her ministry. This is ministry, you guys, ministry and with a purpose. Here at Chat with Kat with Friends, Chat with Kat and Friends, we are empowered and on the move, making global impact, reaching everybody in some way, shape, or form. So, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have a platform to do such as this, which so many are doing, right? Sharing your gifts, reach out as well as you can. Look, let me bring her on right now because she is waiting for me. I had to get things together. So just wanted to thank you guys really quickly. Hey Terri, what's up, lady?
Hello. Good
How you
evening,
doing,
everyone.
queen?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. I want to thank you for even asking. Thank you for sharing this evening with us here on Chat with Kat and Friends. And we're going to hope that people chime in or pour in or whatever. You know what, they may look at it after the fact, but we're going to have a good time right here and right now. Thank you so much for being with us on
Thank
tonight.
you.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank
having us.
you.
Thanks for
You
having
know
me.
what? It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So what we're celebrating is today, your
Yes.
bookversary.
Yes.
Today is bookversary day. And I wish I had a whole bunch of balloons and all of that. But you know what? Your heart is full on today. I know it because this is your ministry, your passion. So tell us a little bit about it. And we will look. Terri also has a full feature. I'm gonna call it a full feature because when I was interviewing for 1 whole hour, we have a
Yep.
full feature with Terri discussing what she does and how she does it and all that she loves. So we're going to kind of compact that a little bit here right now because this is big news. It's a big deal, and we're here to celebrate you on tonight. So tell us about it.
So, 2 years ago, I self-published Body Safety Zones (BSZ). That's the storybook, the first book. I do
Mhm,
have another a coloring activity book, and to summarize the reason why I finally wrote this book and
mhm,
found out and learned how to self-publish and all was because over the years I'm a clinical social worker, and over the years, even before I became a social worker, I was able to sit back and see the impact, the negative
mhm.
impact and
Yeah.
devastating impact that abuse has on our community and has on individuals in particular. And back in 2013, I was working, even before the 2011, 2012, I was working at Central Booking. And everyone that comes through Central Booking, they have to see nursing and they have to see mental health. And
Mhm,
I worked as a mental health evaluator. And you would have some of the scariest looking people telling you some of the devastating things that happened to them when they were
wow.
children, that
Mhm,
never, some of them never ever shared it. So they were self-medicating with drugs, self-medicating
mhm.
with relationships, toxic and
Yeah.
negative relationships, sometimes repeating the
Mhm,
abuse themselves, or
mhm,
repeating it by picking people that were abusive.
mhm.
And so it just had a crazy impact on me. In the schools where I worked, I always did my little lessons and all, and went into the classrooms and talked to children. But I just got uneasy with seeing
Yeah.
the adults and thinking, I'm trying to put some good out here, hoping that it'll make a difference, but it's just not enough. So how could I impact in a larger way? And so because I use books for everything,
Mhm.
um, that's what I came up with. And when I was a little girl, I wanted to be an author anyway, and never quite thought that my writing was good enough. Um,
Wow.
and so I just, it came straight from my heart,
Mhm.
and that's basically how the book, came about. Um, and since then, it's been some journey, because it's
Right.
still something when you say body safety zones and you kind of tell people what you're trying to prevent, they kind of freeze, and like,
Mhm.
oh no, is she talking about body parts? Well, no, the zones are actually why I call them zones. I feel that is for the parents to teach. This is nothing but a tool. This book is
Right.
nothing but a tool to start the conversation and continue the conversation. It's for children 8 and below, and I've seen children as young as 3 be able, like, I've witnessed it, but I also have
Mhm.
folks tell me that they have a younger granddaughter that tells the auntie, the great auntie, get the book. So that
Mhm.
warmed my heart. I found that out while I was
Yeah.
in Ghana. Um,
Wow.
but that's basically, why. And then the book is not just a book for me, it's a ministry, it's a mission, it's a message that I'm trying to get across. And I want to see a lot of books in this genre, talk, because our children need to have different ways to learn about how to self advocate.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. And I'm, still trying to get the word out, and still trying to ease people's apprehensions and mind and heart about this book. You have to pick it up and read it and see that it's not as scary as you think. I mean, I've worked with,
Right.
with children since I've been a child myself. And so I wrote it in a way that is child friendly, child appropriate. Uh, and adults, the adults that have read it, they seem to enjoy it as well. But it has to get in people's hands, and part of the
Right.
proceeds goes towards programming and gifting books. So when I went to Ghana in March, I was able to gift books to 3 schools and an orphanage.
Yeah.
So that was because of people that have purchased books, that allowed me to be able to gift books to children that really appreciated it. I mean, you would have thought I gave them $1 million. They really
Right.
appreciated the book. They really did, and so did their teachers and the head master at the different schools and at the orphanage. They really appreciated it. So I still have books. I've been trying to get into different shelters, because that is a population that predators, they go for
Okay.
children in foster care, children that are in shelters. Um, and so it's important that we get them in their hands. So
Yeah, yeah, and what a worthy cause, because I can hear that. I can hear that and feel your passion toward that, because I have a passion toward children as well. But it's awful, because the predators are looking at children who already have complexities. You already have these things going
right,
on, and there's a um there's this unsafe mode that's about you, that could be attractive. So you guys, if you're out there and you are interested, we're hoping and praying that you're interested, that you would take a look at this, that you would go to her website. Terry's going to share the links and where to purchase the book and things of that nature before we leave here today. But do take a look at it. It's worth the read, and it's helpful. It's helpful. We really do have to get past, like you mentioned, the apprehensions and the what ifs and the you don't know. Well, find out. A great way to find out is to get the book, or is to speak with Terri. She has email. She has email, and it's
Yeah.
very reachable. It's very reachable. So you guys, if and even if it's not a organization or a group, it could be, you as a parent, or you as a parent, a guardian, a grandparent, whatever the case may be. So we're urging you to take part in this, movement, because we want our children to be relaxed and safe. As far as being aware, that's what awareness does for you. It brings about a certain level of relaxation and self-confidence as well.
Yep.
We want our children to have self-confidence and higher self-esteem and things of that nature. So wow, this is number 2, your second year
Yes.
Bookversary, and we're so excited for you and for everything, all of the amazing things that you're doing. So you recently had a trip. You mentioned it in short, in brevity, to Ghana, and you
Yes.
shared some of your trip on social media. Thank you so very much for that. But tell us, like, was there anything that was most surprising to you? You already spoke to the fact of, like, just the giving of the book. It was like giving them $1 million in some
Right.
respect. But like, what other things did you see, or did you come across? If you could share just shortly and briefly,
Mhm.
anything that kind of stood out to you, that you could share with us.
Yeah. So one of the things that really stood out for me, it was two things. How the children will. I was at a when I went to the orphanage, the child just was outside. It was people not standing close to her, but could see her, and she just pulled up her dress and pulled down her underwear and went to use the bathroom. And when I was at a cultural center, just shopping, one the weekend at the conference I was at, and a child did the same thing, and I happened to start looking around, and I see this man staring at her. And at first I was like, okay, well, maybe he's the dad, but then I didn't like the way he was looking at her. So I
Mhm.
stopped and I stared at him, and I stared at him so intently and so harshly. I definitely gave him a look of judgment, look of
Right.
judgment, that he was uncomfortable and he left. And that's really what I want. That's the presence that I want to have. Not that my book
Right.
make people uncomfortable, but that my book empowers children to where they see that's not a mark for me. That's not a
Right.
target for me. That child knows a little too much for my good.
Right.
And
Right.
they go on, and then they go to the next child, and that child knows too much. That's the impact that I really want to have, because they're everywhere, and they
Right.
don't look like the sleazy, greasy looking Chester molester that's behind a bush.
Right.
Their
Right.
auntie such and such, their uncle blah blah blah, their brother or cousin such and such. And the majority of people that have been abused physically, emotionally, sexually, it's by people that they know.
That they
Think
know.
about
Yeah.
how that can break someone down. That
Right.
someone that that someone that has said that they love you, someone that you trust, and they
Right.
violate in some kind of way your
Mhm.
trust.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
that is something that is very hard to recover from. And then we wonder about the ills that we have out, or the isms that we have out here in society. A lot of them are tied to it. So if we were to prevent abuse from happening, we could prevent a lot of other things too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's really, I think that it's the 1734 plus tax for the hardcover and the 15 for the color and activity book is very reasonable for what you may have to pay for,
Right.
with dealing with somebody that's coming up. I mean, I've been I've been assaulted. I've had things happen to me, and I'm thinking that the people that did what they did, they had some issues. The ones that I know that did something to me, I know that they had issues. I know that they had a history of trauma too. So when do we stop it?
Mhm. Right.
When do we stop it? And when do we not just stop it, but when do we prevent it? I have
Yeah.
a little saying, is prevention over intervention.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's prevent things from
Absolutely.
happening. Let's prevent it from
Mhm.
happening so we don't have to intervene. And I'm a child of God, so I'm bodacious enough to in him to know that this can go as far as he sees fit. I,
Yes.
I had myself hooked up in it, but now I'm moving out the way, and I don't have these big sales or anything like that. But guess what? I am making an impact, and that's all that I can do. And
Yeah.
all the rest will come along. But it's important that people have, it may be a situation where people may not buy the book, but they'll start having that conversation. That's a blessing to
Right.
me.
Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I
Like
would love
you
for them to
said,
buy a book, you know what I mean? But
it's a
if it starts a
tool.
conversation for them to have the kid, but have the right
Right.
information to give your children, because what's happening is that I'm seeing children that are very young that have sexualized behavior, and it's not necessarily because that something is being done to them, but because there's no um adult eye on
Boundaries.
what they're
Yeah.
being exposed to and what they're looking at.
Hmm.
So that's
Right.
another thing. In some instances, they have all of this information that their little brains, their little minds, their little bit of time on this earth does not understand. So we need to make sure that we not necessarily keep things from them, make sure it's age appropriate. And when something does slip up and happen, and they might see something that we didn't want them to see, talk to them about it, explain age
Yeah.
appropriately. But we can't just leave them up to seeing whatever goes on and not have a conversation with them, because children, they live what they learn. So
Right.
we have a responsibility to them. And one quick thing, you don't have to have a child to purchase my book.
Hmm.
All of us
Okay.
have churches that we go to, or mosque or synagogues, or wherever you or you don't. You might have an organization. It's a library that's near you. You can donate it to the school in your area, their library. So I'm so sorry, they hear something. Now they're doing it. I'm sorry.
No worries at
They must be
all.
saying that's must be time to stop. I'm gonna mute myself while you talk.
Okay, no worries at all. It's just what a blessing that it is to have such a tool. You spoke about it being a tool that can be used like as a conversation starter, and probably to guide a conversation, especially when it's when you need to have uh difficult. It could be, you could think of it as a difficult conversation or a sensitive conversation
Right.
and things of that nature. So that's those are, and thank you for pointing out that you don't have to have children in order to purchase a book or see the value in having such a book. And can you share with us uh, if donations are taken? Like, if I don't want to purchase a book, but I'd like to give to your ministry, I like to give to your ministry and support you in that manner, at maybe as opposed to buying a book. How can people do that? Is that something that you have in place yet, or coming about?
They're going crazy. I'm so sorry. So basically, what has happened is that people have actually bought books and said, "I don't want it. You give it to someone." So that also happens.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to time them not barking. Sorry, but
Okay.
so that is something that is done. But I would love for people that make. I would like to, you cut it out. She's doing that just because she wants to be on here with you too. You saw how she came on earlier and just was like looking. She wants to be on too. She's jealous. Uh, but but yeah, that is definitely that's definitely welcome. I've been really thinking. I have a book scholarship that I've been doing now. This is the 8th year, in honor
Wow.
of my great grandmother, that taught herself. She was an autodidact, so she taught herself how to read and write, play piano,
Awesome.
and
Yeah.
and so I've been really thinking if I could get the right people in place. I've been really thinking about doing a nonprofit because I would like for people to be able to, write it off and be able to do some things. And when you're for profit, people think it is, but I use my salary to do all of this stuff.
Right.
Recently, someone was gracious enough, a journalist was gracious enough to write an article, and she put in there, and I was like, wow, I'm glad that comes across, because she said she seems to be more interested in getting the books out there than making a profit. I have given away a lot of books, a
Yeah.
lot of books. I mean, people that have said, okay, well, we're gonna look at it, this and that, let me look at it, and they wouldn't buy it. And so I'm like, okay, never hear from them again. And the only thing that
Yeah.
I asked from those people was that please just give it to a child.
Mm.
If you don't see the
Right.
value in it, give it to a child. That's really important. But yeah, I definitely would love, maybe, Kat, I can get you as one of the board members. Maybe I can do
Yeah.
that.
We'll
Yeah.
talk. We
Yeah,
will
because
talk
I
definitely.
need to, I mean, I seriously do need to do that, because I've tried to partner with different nonprofits. I need to get my own going.
Yeah.
And I have the perfect name and everything for it. So, uh, yeah, just
Wonderful.
keeping my great grandmother's legacy going. So she's the one that's on the
The
book
front
cover.
cover.
Yeah, that's
Right. The book
Rhoda Lee
cover.
is a real person. Uh-huh.
Mhm,
So Rhoda
mhm.
Lee Jones. But yeah,
Wow.
it was so heartening to be able to read to those babies, and just how they got into the BSZ motto, doing it and having the serious expressions in their face. They just were really
Right.
into it, and they were able to ask questions afterwards, and that they were curious about. And it was just great. And our children are the same. They
Right.
have differences, but they are the same. And to be able to see the magic in them like I do here at home,
Right.
was just an amazing experience. And it was my first time ever sharing my book internationally. So that,
Abroad. Yeah.
yeah, so that was something too. So I've read it and had it translated while I read in Chinese Mandarin. So
Wow.
I'm working on getting it for in Spanish, French, Arabic, and Filipino. So I'm working on being able to send it different places for people that I know, so they can send it to schools, or in the different areas, because
Mhm.
it's important. It's no race, there's no ethnic group that does not experience abuse. It does
You are
not
so right
discriminate.
about it. You are
Yeah.
so right about it. You are so right about it. So, you guys, we want to encourage you to donate to this worthy cause. I mean, wow, it just it's heartwarming to hear how the reach. I put global. I look that
Yeah.
I had to make a brand. I had to make a brand statement. I had to make a brand statement,
Yeah.
and kind of, that's that catchphrase sort of, or that statement that you want to be known for. And that is exactly, wow. Wow. And just to hear that, and that's what I aspire to. And that's what we're aspiring to. As a collective network, as business people, as honest people, as collaborative persons of whatever color, gender,
Right.
whatever. It doesn't even matter. It's reaching the masses and getting your information, and then it's a collective mesh. It's a collective message of togetherness, of wholeness, of wellness, of safety, of unity. So that's what I really and truly love, love, love. About what I do, and about just connecting to people who are doing the exact thing, doing that. You're doing that, and it's just wonderful to hear the different languages that you're looking to branch into, and just that's just global impact. That's just
Right.
mighty impact. That's just the spirit of the Lord working and moving in a mass way. We hear of all all of the different things that are going on in our world, in our communities, even within our very homes and our four walls,
Right.
and and the love of God is ever so much more going, in so many ways, and it's just flowing in the spirit of the Lord. So it's just wonderful. I could go on and on. I'll step off that, but God is good, and we're just gonna keep praying that He keeps working mightily. We've been praying ever since we've connected,
Yep.
which was like a year and some
Mm-hmm.
change ago.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
God is truly good, and connecting you with the right people, and keeping that momentum going, keeping His love flowing in the different ministries that we have, individually, but together, because the
Together.
impact is like nearly the same. So God be praised for all that you're doing, Terry. Share with us your social medias and any kind of contact information that you want to at
Sure.
this time, please.
Sure. So my email is bodysafetyzones@gmail.com. I'm on IG, Instagram as Persistence is the Way. That's all together. And I'm on Etsy, you www.etsy.com/shop/persistence is the way. And that's where my two books, my doll, the other merch is on there. And yeah, I'm very easy to contact, and I get back
Right.
to you, and just to share, my goal is that as I travel places, that I travel and bring with me. So for instance, I'll be going to Florida in May and in June, and
Mhm.
I'm setting up already. I'm slated to go into a school when I go in May. But in August, when I celebrate my 50th,
Yes.
I am going to Colombia, three different parts. So one of those areas that I'm in, probably Cartagena, I will be going somewhere in a school or learning center somewhere. I got to
Right.
get in there. So we're working.
Mhm.
The person that's helping me plan this trip, she's working on trying to get me in there to to be able to read and someone translate
Right.
as I read, because
Mhm.
I speak one language. So
Wow.
yeah, but
That's just awesome. That's
that's what
awesome.
yeah what's that's what we're doing. And I actually am working on something else, but I'll share, maybe I'll be able to share the next time I come on. But
Mhm.
just trying, just trying as hard as I can to do something. When the good Lord finally takes me home, I want to have made a positive impact in the lives of children, and
Yeah.
the impact of changing the perception of mental illness. And so that's really what I'm trying to do.
Yes. Well, God be praised. And hats off to you for your tenacity, and as you said, your bodaciousness. I am
Hmm.
so like I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired, and I pray that others who watch this interview, if you're watching right now or you watch later, however the case may be, that you will be inspired as well, because whatever that seed is that God has planted inside of you,
Yes.
it's not there for nothing. It's not there for nothing. So we want you to push forward. Take those steps, make connections here, right here. And it doesn't have to be that it's specifically speaks to what you specifically need, but just that empowerment, that inspiration, that
Right.
encouragement will help will help compel you forward to do whatever it is that God has placed on your heart and on your soul that you're sitting on. You're sitting on, and somebody's
Hmm.
waiting for you to bless them with whatever it is that you have. Yep, I'm blessed right now. I am. I'm on cloud 155. But oh my gosh, that piece that you have, so don't sit on, ladies and gentlemen, don't sit on your gifts or that ministry or that purpose that you think, it's not, everybody needs it. Everybody wants it.
Yep.
That's the mindset that you have to have. I've figured that out. Have you figured that out? It's like you have to kind of think that way, that it's wanted, it's needed in order for that action sensor in you, I call it that action sensor in you, to just take flight and go and just do without all of the noise.
Yeah, and
Without
sometimes I
all of the
wanted to add
noise.
that sometimes the good Lord will make you uncomfortable. So
Hmm.
pay attention to that too. If you're really
Absolutely.
uncomfortable and something just keeps on coming up, because that's what happened to me. I was like, why am I seeing all these people that have
Yeah.
been abused and sexually abused at that? It was just like, why? You know what I mean? And I just was so uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And it was a situation where it was like, stop, get out of your way, get out of the
Right.
way, get out
Yeah.
of my way, because there is
Hmm.
something that you need to do. And your little hang up about your writing, get over it, because
Hmm.
this is what you need to do. And
Wow.
so and it was, and that's what had to happen. So for the folks out there, you may be uncomfortable and you may be getting the same message over and over again. Take a look at
Hmm.
that, because
Right.
like Kat said, that seed is ready to be watered, is ready to be, placed in rich soil, and water it. Put some
Yeah.
sunshine on it, because you have it. We all have something in us that is invaluable and that is
Every one of
different
them.
from everyone else. And even,
Hmm.
what's that little saying that they have? Even if somebody else did it,
Yep.
what did they have to do with you? What's her name? The girl, Rihanna.
Uh-huh.
Victoria's Secrets was out. What they have to do with it? That young
Right.
woman is a billionaire now. She's
Right.
a
Right.
billionaire. So it's in us.
Absolutely.
And it may not be about, I mean, I'm not motivated by money. You know what I mean? Mine is my how I'll determine whether or not this is successful is how many children it will reach, how many children it will learn this and know it. That's how I'll
Right.
see it as
Hmm.
successful.
Yeah.
So
Right, right. So I mean, we're telling you, you guys, and all of Terry's information will be in the description section here. And look for her on Instagram. Persistence is the way. If you need to contact me to get her info, look, whatever it is that you need to do, if you like to donate to her organization, we're going to look speak that into existence right now. If you want to donate to her organization, if you want to purchase books for other people or what have you, whatever the case may be, purchase for yourself, for your family, for your school, however that looks, please, please, please reach out to her. Reach out to me. I will give you her information,
if you work
however
at a
that is.
shelter, if you work at a
Yes,
shelter
you
with
can maybe,
families,
yes.
please
Mhm.
connect with me so I can go in and do story time with them.
And do her thing.
Yeah, and I will do it for the shelters. I will do it no cost, no cost
Right.
for shelters, no cost for, if you have a foster children's group that you're doing, support group, I will come in and I will do it for free. You got me on record. I will do it for free. I just want the kids to get the books, and you can purchase books, that's
It's the
fine. But
message.
the
Mhm.
lesson, I will come in and do the lesson, no charge.
Wow, you guys, look, here we go. Here we go. So, and we want to thank you so very much, Terry, for your heart, for your compassion, for all that you do. Because outside of that, you're still working in the school system. Is that correct?
I work in the school system, and
Yeah.
I have a small private practice, and I
Yeah.
even work in the hospital some
Wow.
weekends.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
see, you guys, you're sowing into great great fertile ground when you do purchase books or you donate in any way. Share of your gifts and talents if you like to be a part of anything that she's doing.
Yes.
Conversations can be had. Look,
Yes.
conversations can be had and connections can be made. So that those are all well, fine, and good and acceptable. So we're gonna send mighty thanks out to you guys right now in advance for reaching out, for pouring in, for sending in your money and for supporting. We have to support one another
Yes.
in a big way. In a big way. It's not this is a big deal, you guys. And she's not the only one. Nope,
Mhm.
she's not. But you know what? She's here right now. And we're just thanking God for your bookversary,
Thank
two
you.
years in
Yes.
and counting, because there will be so many more. There will be so many more, so
Amen.
many more presentations and all of those things. So congratulations, Terry. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
spending this time with us right here, right now. I congratulate you. I applaud you. And I am inspired by you. I pray that everyone else is as well. You have anything you want to leave us with?
No, I just want to thank you. And I remember our first conversation.
Hmm.
And I just thank you for you didn't know me from the paint on this wall, but I can say to you, and I can say to your listeners, honestly, that this
Wow.
woman did not know me, and she sat on the phone and said things to me that people that have known me, that I'm connected with, and in different ways, and encouraged me, prayed for me, prayed with me. And I never, I was like, wow, this is someone that doesn't even know me. And it opened me up and said, you know what? Pay attention to who does instead of
Yeah.
who doesn't. And
Wow.
you did that. And I
He's
appreciate it.
good.
And still waiting for you to get your own show, on own network or something. We still waiting for that, but it's just been a
Coming.
year. Yeah, that's right. It's coming.
It's
Hmm. We
It's
waiting
coming
for
when
it.
you come. Look, that is it for Chat with Cat and Friends on tonight. I am chatting with my friend. We just got done chatting with my friend, my good friend, and my sister friend in service and ministry and all of those great things, Terri Johnson. You guys support her as much as you can. I look forward to supporting as much as I can. And just unify in that way because it's a wonderful thing and we all need that. We all need that. Get out there and stop sitting on your gifts. That's what we're going to leave y'all with on tonight. Purchase Body Safety Zones. Go to her Instagram page. All of that will be in the description section right here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. That's it. We're out of here. Thank you so much, Terri. Have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of the evening. You are so welcome. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you later. Mm, 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 mm.